Oh hell, it's Monday night. That can only mean one thing. The 3 Wide Racing League is back with the Cold Hard R Cup Series. Coming to you live Monday night, Michigan International Speedway. Somehow daytime. We're not going to question it. We're just going to roll right in. In the booth tonight, you got Thomas Morris, Matt Kingston, and Trey McLandry. Gentlemen, you ready for this hot fire?
We're all ready to take a little break from the dirt there, Mr. Wendell. It's been quite a while since we've been on the old pavement here. It's good to see back here at Michigan, Trey, where some high speeds and hopefully a little bit of 3 wide racing.
Yeah, it's definitely a track that lends itself to 3 wide racing, so we should see a bunch of it tonight.
Well, looking here, guys, it's some hot for that track temperature, so we're going to have some slipping and sliding around going on, I think, and that'll produce some pretty exciting racing coming down to the end of the race.
Well, it is summer. So.
Might get one of those off days when it's 40 below. It's only happening in Canada.
It's hot. Well, as we've mentioned on the social medias, we're heading quite rapidly to the playoffs here in 3 wide in the Cold Hard Art Series. So, with only 6 races remaining, the chase, Matthew, it's for playoffs. It's coming together quite nicely.
Yeah, it is. And we have quite a few drivers on the bubble, quite a few drivers that have a chance to get in, and some that are right on the tail end of the field as it comes to points. Might lose their spot because it's not many points separating them, and there's only, like you said, 6 races remaining. So one bad race might just kind of cap off the end of your season.
Without a doubt. Currently have qualifying going on right now on the Speedway. Peter Short, the provisional pole sitter at the moment, with Kevin the Flying Finn rolling in P2.
Yeah, Peter had a nice pickup there from his practice time, because I was looking there. Chuck Sweeting, kind of a newcomer to the league, but he's definitely not new to the iRacing service. He was quickest in practice, and he's even went faster than his practice time, but unfortunately Peter seems to have just a little bit of an edge over him.
Just a little bit. I mean, both actually tied Kevin Finn for P2 on the board, so that's pretty impressive. According to the iRacing timing and scoring.
And looking here, one of our bubble guys, Race Clark. He's 13 points away from being in the chase. And he's had kind of a bad qualifying performance there. When I say that, he's only 3/10 off the pole time.
Oh, that's terrible.
He's qualified right now for 22nd place, and we've seen what happened at Pocono, so you got to believe he's hoping it's going to be a little bit cleaner here going into turn 1.
Yeah, I feel like we've interviewed him before, and he said qualifying is not his strongest thing to do, but you might want to start working on it here if you're going to try and dig out of that hole to get in the playoffs, because starting in the back, not going to do yourself any favors. Like you said, Pocono, I can think of a few more races, maybe Vegas, where they got themselves in trouble early on in the race, being in the back like that. So start working your way to the front, or maybe chill out a little bit further out of the pack and let it kind of thin down first.
Yeah, but you got to be careful. This is, we've seen races here at Michigan go green for a long period of time. If you get a long green flag run, you start in the back, you can find yourself a lap down before halfway.
That's true, but I don't mean it's the gamble, Trey. You know, if you know you can't qualify, you're going to either have to race smart or kind of wait it out and hope for a yellow.
Looking up through the field here, the guy that he's battling for the last transfer spot into the or bubble spot into the playoffs, 63 Mike Stevens. Like I said, he's only 13 points ahead, and he's qualified right now, slated in the 12th position, so that's definitely going to be a bonus for Mike, and hopefully he can kind of have to not worry about getting into trouble as bad, but he's right there in the middle of the pack. So
I like how you phrase that. Kind of not really in trouble. And for anyone wondering, because it was news to myself today, that Brooks Westphal, your Daytona 500, 250, however you want to call it, winner, is not locked into the playoffs.
You guys are seeing her there now. Get some points up on the screen for you, and you're going to notice here, Peter Short, your point leader with 3 wins. So he definitely has no worries about making her into the chase, guys.
Let's hope not. He's got to make all the races from here, and he should be all right. But yeah, non-charter drivers obviously can't can't get into the chase, I guess, if you read the rule book. But I was kind of thinking, well, he was already chartered now, but I didn't know retroactively a win couldn't get you in. So there's that. But he can still win again, Matt. You know, he's done it before. I'm sure he can find a way to maybe get back there.
Yeah, he's not too far away. He's just off in the points there. So you just got to have a few good races, string together some good finishes. Top 10, I would say. Top 5s even would be fantastic for him to do. And we saw him. He performed well at Pocono. I believe he just got into a little bit of trouble there near the end. So hopefully he can just kind of put this race together and see if we get a good top 10 result tonight.
Well, we didn't see a different winner at Pocono. I think the strategy that came into play could see, you know, if that would have been anyone else, or maybe the leaders ran out of fuel, you could have seen someone new in victory lane. So you never want to give up and always kind of keep that fuel mileage or any kind of strategy, maybe even tire strategy in the back of your head here to try and win or just steal some points from the guys in front of you.
I'll tell you what, the person to watch for, who's now a chartered driver, I do believe, is Chuck Sweeting. I mean, he can win this race, and he can jump up in there, I believe.
I don't believe so. You have to run at least 70% of the season.
Okay.
And I know I'm not the best at math, but we're on race 11.
Okay, I did not know that.
I don't think. I mean, I don't know how many races are. No, that's not. No, with only 6 to the playoffs, yeah, that's not gonna happen.
No.
So yeah, I mean, he could still wins though, Trey. Like still wins from
Sure.
guys that were looking to get in. So that's also another factor. Eric Mickey tonight making his Cup Series debut. He could steal a win from guys looking to get in. Just, you know, you never know. But we do know one thing, guys. It will be exciting, and I'm sure these points will not look the same by the time we get to the playoffs. Someone's gonna probably fall out. Someone's gonna move in. You never know.
Yeah, it's just a constant kind of shell game, and like anything can happen in these races. You can be out in lap 1, or you could just have one little issue and fall back to the field and lose points that way. Like you're gonna have to really string together 6 good races if you want to get into these playoffs.
The one thing that kind of shocks me is the one car of Danny here. He's 40 points out, which is a lot, but only 40 points out considering I don't remember when he's finished a Cup race. Right? I mean, he always gets caught up in the mess, but yet he's still only 40 out. So if he could string some good finishes together, he could make up some points on Brett Miller or Mike Stevens.
I'm thinking he's going to need some top 5s to be able to get into the chase now, unless something does happen, like you said, to Mike Stevens or Brent Miller. And also, he's going to need something to happen to the guys in front of him because Brooks and Race Clark are so close to the bubble too. It's going to be he's really going to have to start hitting some good races.
Yeah, I mean, you never want to wish bad luck on your opponents, but you don't mind it sometimes when it happens.
Especially if you can avoid it and it benefit you greatly.
I think the wild card might have been Drew Eisenman, who I believe, Trey, correct me if I'm wrong, said he wasn't going to run any more Cup races, but yet here he is.
Yeah, he's a liar.
See a fibber.
He's a fibber.
Well, it's good to see him here. I mean, he almost got the win last time out at Pocono, so let's see if he can maybe steal a win here from his teammate at Eisentech Empire there.
Well, if anybody that did not watch the Pocono race, what was it, 2 weeks ago? I suggest you go back and check that out because really, it was probably the best race we've seen this season, just as far as strategy goes. With it was a battle at the end between the 33 of Peter Short and the 77 of Drew Eisenman.
Yeah, without a doubt, that was probably one of the most intense races we've seen for strategy-wise towards the end. And then you had Cameron, another lap, he would have been in this battle. Chuck Sweeting got the speeding penalty. That threw him out of the equation, but, man, that could have thrown a monkey wrench in the whole plan. So let's hope we see something like that again tonight, guys.
It's another big track, high-speed track. You're going to be using a lot of fuel, and we have 100 laps tonight, so let's hope we can see something like that. I think if we get the long green flag runs again, we will see something just as crazy as what we saw 2 weeks ago at Pocono.
Now, I mean, I know we love to hype the 3 wide stuff at Michigan and how fun it can be. To be honest, on the iRacing platform, it's more of a, to find the ultimate pace, it's more of a one groove racetrack. You kind of want to be right above that seam basically in the middle of the track, maybe a little bit down from right on the middle, but that's where you're going to find your most time and help the tires the most from past experience here at Michigan, Matt.
Yeah, I've always hated this track as a driver. It's just I couldn't carry enough speed through the corners, which is another thing that if somebody hasn't figured that out, they're going to be way off. But by looking at the qualifying results, nobody's out to lunch here, to be honest. And the draft's also a big thing here, too, from the last time I raced. Don't know if it still is. I assume it is. So you get pulled down the backstretch, and sometimes they can suck you right into the turn when you're not expecting it, and you have to brake a little bit more than usual.
Especially with that low downforce package. You've got that guy on your outside sucking you around, and the guy in front of you is taking the air off your front splitter. So you're kind of doomed on both ends there if you're in a tight situation.
And be wheeling that sucker around this place tonight, and whoever wins is definitely going to earn his money.
Looking through the qualifying results that we were currently rolling through the screen a few seconds ago before I looked. No big surprises in qualifying. I think the struggles for Johnny Thomas still continue. I saw a Twitter post where they just seem to lack a little speed on these big tracks, and appears to continue tonight. He's a qualified P20 on the board. Not where you want to be.
No, it's going to be hard to claw your way up, but as we saw in the standings there, he's not hurting too bad for points yet. He's sitting 62 points above the bubble. Just as long as he shows up, I think, Thomas, he'll be making her into the playoffs.
One would hope at this point, yeah.
But one guy that I noticed here, starting in the 25th spot, he's one of our bubble drivers. He's right now 16 points in the playoffs. Is Brent Miller in that 89. He's qualified 25th, and his lap time isn't too shocking. Or stellar, I guess, not shocking.
I was going to say, it's pretty shocking. It's a little off from what the others ran, but yeah, it's, Brent hasn't been, what's the word? He hasn't really stood out this season, I guess. He hasn't shown his name to run up front and get wins, so it kind of puts you in that position of being back in points. So you're going to have to maybe do a little strategy or kind of find out what you need to run more consistent here. Also, probably not get wrecked on lap 1 at Pocono. That would help.
Yeah, that usually does do quite a bit. I'm looking in the chat here, and Drew Eisenman, who's one of the competitors here, says his money's on Velez, which is not a very bad pick, guys. He's sitting up there pretty in the points, pretty in the speed department. He's right now, he's second quick in practice, 7th quick in qualifying. So if he can keep all 4 fenders on that thing and the tires not on fire, should be all right.
Why would his tires be on fire, Matt?
Yeah, I'll drive a little bit too hard here because it'll kill you.
I mean, he's not driving a 42 with a target scheme, so.
Ooh.
Too soon?
The other guy caught fire too. It's all right.
Let's just hope we don't have the 6 hours of Michigan like they had the 6 hours of Indy yesterday. So.
Oh God. Seemed like they didn't want that race to end.
Just at the end when they decided not to follow the caution protocol. So.
Like they rarely do. Thanks, NASCAR.
I think the bigger story, did you guys see? No, we're getting off on a tangent here, but we got a little time to fill. Casey Kane pretty much fell apart after that race. Had to go get taken to the infield care center to get rehydrated. And I saw some pictures of, like, Ryan Newman. He just looked like he was spent.
Yeah, well, I mean, Casey Kane's ripped like a cornstalk, so what do you expect?
He's pretty athletic, though. I mean, he's not muscly, but he's trains in oh my God, trains in like triathlons and stuff.
I mean, I guess that's what I get for talking shit about him on Twitter.
That is true. How'd your Twitter post go?
Yeah, I guess I'm motivated him to win, so.
Well,
I've never quite heard that expression before.
All right, well, we'll transition here to the grid, which will get us away from cornstalks, hopefully.
Everything's falling apart already, and it's only 10:15.
It's okay. There's only 100 laps to go.
Oh.
All right, rolling off P1 to no one's surprise. Mr. Peter Short looking to get win number 4 on the season. And to his outside, Kevin Finn, the Flying Finn.
Starting in the 3rd position, we have the 26 of Chuck Sweeting, making his second start in the Cup Series, maybe his first, I can't remember. And outside of him, the 4th spot, we have the 5 of Sam Close.
Rolling off 5th. He's hoping to get paid today. We got Kevin Rich in the 17th. Followed closely, starting 6th. That number 18 machine, Paul Ross.
Rolling off P7, he was P2 in practice. Nathan Velez looking to grab that W this season. And to his outside, Jess Story looking to make a name back here after taking some time off of that concussion a few weeks ago, looking to see if he can get back in victory lane.
Starting in the 9th position, we have the In-N-Out Burger number 03 of Wade Lear, looking to see if he can sneak his way into victory lane. And rounding out your top 10, the 90 of Corey Lindsay.
Starting 11th, making his cup debut tonight, driver that number 6 machine, Eric Mickey. Starting 12th to his outside, number 63, Mike Stevens.
Rolling off P13 for the Pilot Performance Group, I'm sure I said that right, hopefully, is Chad Brown, that 64 machine. To his outside, we talked about him. He's a bubble driver. He's pretty far out of the chase, but he can get in there. The number 1 of Danny Dalamedia looking to see if he can score a win, because that's pretty much what he's making on there, Matt.
Without a doubt. And starting in the 15th spot, we have the 12 of Matt Hackathorn, looking to see if he can get himself a win too and get himself into this chase bubble. And outside of him, the 88 of Rusty Webb, starting 16th.
And starting 17th, we got Levi Zielinski. Starting 18th, J.D. Cooper.
Rolling off P19, we have Cody Wright to his outside. Rolling off P20, Johnny Thomas.
Starting 21st with the 87 of Richard Hines, and the outside of him, the 22. Starting in the 22nd spot, Race Clark.
And starting 23rd, we got Jeffrey A. Cree. Starting to his outside, Carlos Acosta in the number 2.
And the last guy to take a time, Brett Miller, going to roll off P25. And the rest of the field, Drew Eisenman, Brooks Westfall, and Steve Kahneman probably did his grid? Yes, he did, in the 08 machine.
Big field tonight, guys. It's going to be very interesting.
Indubitably.
Oh, God.
Big field, big track, though, so hopefully that plays out well. We saw Pocono go pretty well, so I'm sure, 2 weeks off, I'm sure they want to get some green flag laps in after the torment of dirt the past couple of weeks.
For sure. So who are we picking tonight, guys?
Oh, who are we jinxing? I think Sam Close is going to get another win. He's been so close.
I'm going to jinx Chuck Sweeting.
I'm watching that 48, Nathan Velez. I think he's going to power his way to a win here tonight at Michigan.
All right, pace car's off. Going to hand it over to Peter Short here as we come to get the green flags out there. Pretty good job there, Peter.
Start to feel back, the top line backed up just a touch. Maybe he's trying to take it easy on the return to the ball that happened 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it looks like the field's given pretty good bit of room there so far through 1 and 2. It looks like 17 got pretty low there through 1 and 2. Got a little squirrely.
Yeah, you got to be careful. You drop below that, get on that bottom seam. It'll throw you for a ride, that's for sure.
Yeah, we might see that come more into play towards the end of a run there, Trey, where you need that car to rotate a little bit more. You can kind of dip below that seam. What Kevin Finn got a heck of a run through 3 and 4. Going to drive right up to that death load of Peter Short.
Chuck Sweeting close behind, looking to capitalize as well. A little bobble there off of turn 2 for Peter. It's going to allow Kevin to drop to the left there and get a big push from Chuck Sweeting going into turn 3.
A little bump drafting here at Michigan. I think one thing we didn't talk about either is the tires. It's pretty easy to get out here and be the superhero, I guess, and lead every lap, but you can also burn that right front off if you're not careful.
Without a doubt.
It'd be quite easy to do with the high temperatures we have for the track tonight.
So the new leader, Kevin Finn, leads that lap. Chuck Sweeting closely second.
Peter all the way back to third. Gets a little breathing room over Sam Close there, who's trying to fend off Cameron Rich and others. Others would be Paul Ross.
Carlos Acosta about bought the farm there with almost got tangled up with J.D. Cooper in that 23 machine. Still going in the right direction because Carlos jumped out of it, but close call already in lap 3.
Yeah, I got a feeling we'll see a few of those tonight, Matt. You know, just trying to get that side draft, and then if someone gets a little squirrely in front of you, or just maybe get put in a 3-wide spot in the corner, and kind of can upset the cars and end up in a bad way in a hurry. It's trying to single file out here, it looks like. Almost as if they want to, maybe make green flag laps or something.
We got Eric Mickey's gained, I'm showing 2 spots so far, so move Eric up to 9th.
And trailing right behind with Jess Story, so looking to see if he can lead him to the front here.
Paul Ross trying to get his nose underneath the 17 machine there. Cameron Rich couldn't quite do it that time, but he had a nice, he gets a little bit loose there, but he had a nice run going into that corner.
I think that's the name of the game there, Matt. You can get the run through the center, but trying to keep the power down off is what can be a challenge out of 2. Not so much out of 4, but especially out of 2. Looks like we had a Shake and Bake Motorsports fan in the chat there, guys.
Yeah, he's rooting for Mike, Matt, and Brooks. He says, let's go.
Yeah, 2 of those guys definitely in need of a win there.
It's like Cameron Rich is going to make the move around Peter Short. Try to.
Slid right up in front of Peter there.
And also we got Chuck Sweeting making the move on the leader, Kevin Finn. Trying to take that lead away.
Just going to roll over. Looks like Chuck's probably going to get the drive through the center. Yeah, he's going to clear him off of 2. New leader.
Yep.
Here's something to shock me, guys. Right now, Peter Short has fallen all the way back to the 5th position. He's the pole sitter here, lap 7.
And he's under fire from that 48 machine and Nathan Velez. I just wonder if Peter Short's trying to play the wily veteran, just kind of taking it easy, trying to save those tires, and he's going to try to make a charge back to the front as these tires wear just a little bit.
It's not uncommon. I think we've seen it a couple times with Peter. Maybe, I know he got the pole, but sometimes he's shockingly not the fastest guy here on the short runs. He kind of lets it come to him, or sometimes we see he might have an off night, so maybe he just hadn't figured out that pace yet for the long run at Michigan.
I'm sure the guys will figure it out.
Yeah, it looks like Wade Lear was able to get around Jess Story, so move Wade up to 9th.
Peter has right now Sam Close under fire for that 4 spot. See what he can do with him here. To get underneath him coming across the stripe.
See if we can clear him. Looks like we had another battle between Chad Brown and Corey Lindsay back there, but it may have settled itself.
Yeah, Chad was able to get that spot from Corey, so move Chad up to 11th. He's got his eyes set on that number 18 machine and a top 10 spot.
Looks like maybe, is it back there, Brooks Westfall? No, Rusty Webb kind of smacked the wall a bit down the back stretch there. No harm, though.
Matt Hackathorn's going to get that position from him there. Going to move him to 16th. He definitely needs to get some good races strung together here.
Yeah, quiet night for Hackathorn so far, really. I mean, kind of qualifies better than that normally, but he's still, Rusty gives a little more spark to the one there. I'm sure Hackathorn wants to be higher up in the field, man.
Oh, Cameron Rich just had a moment, I think, through 1 and 2. He dropped 3 positions there.
Yes, he did. Looks like he's going to lose another one to Eric Mickey, possibly in turn 3.
Split 3 wide there going into turn 1. I don't think he knew he was, so he jumped way out of the gas. Smart move by him, but...
Yeah, we might be seeing some of the tires come into play here, because he's a little, I don't say supercharged to the front there, but he tried to get to the front, and maybe now it's cost him a little bit here out of 4, because it looked like maybe out of 4 the previous lap he had a bad exit, and it kind of set him up for a 3 wide in turn 1.
And it looks like Chad and Levi were able to make their way around Corey Lindsay, so move Chad Brown up to 10th. Levi Zielinski resuming that charge. He started in the back. He's already up to 11th, so good race so far for Levi.
Yeah, first race of the season, making a pretty good charge.
Oh, Peter Short tagged the wall there.
That one on the corner of the replay there.
Oh,
On the,
contact
Oh,
between the
going
48.
around. Oh,
Current points leader
Still-
right there. He looks all right. No
Wow.
harm, no foul there. Looked like Peter did not know that the 48 was down there to me and just kind of took the front end off him.
I got to hand it to
they
those.
didn't hit anything.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I gotta hand it to those drivers behind that they didn't go piling into Peter Short. That could have been ugly.
Yeah,
Some good
without
drive in there.
a doubt there, Matt. Looks like this is kind of what he did. Came down, didn't know the 48 was still in there.
I think he was just trying to do a little bit of damage control from touching into the wall. But that being said, he doesn't seem to have any damage, so
No, just a little tag there in the left rear. It should be fine.
Hey, he did a good job keeping that down there and not letting it go up the track and into the wall. Those other drivers did a heck of a job of avoiding him.
Yeah, it's kind of like, is he gonna stay down there or?
I always say those lazy spins are the most dangerous because you never really know which way he's going to go, if it's going to take off or not.
I think we're gonna see all 28 drivers come down pit road here.
Oh yeah, 13 laps. You're begging for tires already. I think it's too many laps for someone, and also probably too early for someone to want to take 2 here. I would think
I
you would
wouldn't.
want to get 4.
Yeah, just to come up here, there's a little bit of contact getting into the pit lane between the 23 and the 88. Everything seems to be all right. The 88 is a little punched in nose.
Looks like we had maybe one driver stay out here, and maybe Drew Eisenman stayed out. Maybe
He
trying to get a
was-
lap win.
Yeah, he was near the back there, I believe, before that exchange of pit stops. The 88 has more contact on pit lane. He gets a lot more damage this time. Got into the
Oh,
one.
wow,
of
yeah.
Danny Dalmedia. He just had a bad sequence of pit stops there, and then Danny gave him a little shot again after, I think.
Oh, you know what he did? He missed his pit stall. He was turning in. He thought that was his pit stall, and it was, yeah, it was. Yeah, and he missed it completely. He just took the nose off the one. Boy, someone called Justin Allgaier.
Oh boy.
That was brutal. It's not hard to do here at Michigan. Pretty fast pit lane. I believe it's 55. Yeah, so once you miss it, you just really have nowhere to go. You have to just go all the way through pit lane and come back down.
Yeah, that was just a comedy of errors there come the end of it, at the start of it, right straight through to end from the 88 of Rusty Webbs. Let's see if he can rebound from that and get everything fixed, because he's got some pretty decent front end damage and now back end damage on that 88.
And that is not what the one wanted to see. He's trying to get in this chase with over 40 points out, and just, you know, getting ran into on pit lane, minding your own business is not what you want to have happen. Trying to look at his nose. Looks, yeah, that's probably going to hurt you a little bit here in Michigan.
Trying to see now if the 23 got his damage fixed, because he got run into the back of going into pit lane by the 88, and it seems like he's still crinkled up pretty badly, but it might not hurt him as much as the front end damage on the 88 and the 1.
Yeah, if you want damage, you at least want it in the rear, not on the front, where you're going to have all that aero deficiency. Looks like Drew Eisman is staying out, so...
I'm not going to say that's a bad call, but I know I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, 13 laps, you're talking quite a few tenths off there. Well, he started his run at a 38.5, and his last lap was a 39.4, so that's more than a few tenths.
So that might be a little bit interesting to watch going into turn 1, unless Drew can get a nice jump going into it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he can jump. pretty early, but I just don't think that would matter. The field's just going to gobble you up. He could, well, I guess pit lane's closing this time. You couldn't pit.
No, it should be a quickie caution. Everybody's on the lead lap, so it's probably closed. But looks like he's going to pit anyway. I mean, what's the worst? He's going to get an end of the longest line, so it's no big deal.
I don't even think he would get that because no one's a lap down.
He's going to surrender the lead back to Chuck Sweeting here in the race. He's going to be taking the inside lane.
I'm just not sure why you would make that strategy call, though, unless you just do not want to be in the pack.
Well, I was watching him a little bit at the start there, guys, and he did fall all the way back to the very last car on the lead lap, but started picking off his way through the field. I think he passed 3 cars after that, so I'm not sure what the plan is for this 77.
Is he looking for the biggest mover award? Because they don't give that us. Well, this should be interesting, boys. We saw Kevin be pretty quick on the jump on the start there, then Chuck ran him down. See if Chuck can maybe stay ahead of him this time.
Yeah, we're getting these guys all.
Guess you were right, Trey.
Yeah, he did receive a black flag. Let's see if they actually clear it. I wouldn't, but
normally as an admin I do, as long as you don't hold someone a lap down for that. But there's only a lap down, so I don't think you have to pit for that though, right, Trey? I'm pretty sure it's an EOL. Guess we'll find out.
No, I think he has to do a. Well, it's mute point. They cleared it, so.
Trey, always the hard man with the penalties there.
I know, right?
All right, pace car should be diving off here. Going to hand it over to Chuck Sweeting, see if he can rock it off here. And that he does. We're back to green. Kevin, not a great start at all. Almost like he's in 3rd gear there, man.
Up here, guys, Chad Brown will make the move on Jess Story. It's going to put him up in the top 5. Keep him in the top 5.
Sorry. Where did he come from?
Oh, easy, Chad.
Jess jumped out of that one. It was a smart call there. That could have been big. He's going to bring Levi Zelensky right past, or right on the quarter panel story of the 7.
Yeah, both those guys, Chad and Levi, both qualified deep in the pack, 17th and 18th, and here they are racing for a top 5. Is the 7, let the 64 know that was not cool, bro?
Yeah, he's talking about not lifting next time. Well, I think if he doesn't lift next time, he'll be the one in the wall.
Lifting is gonna, lifting helping him. If he didn't, it's gonna kill him more than anything.
There goes the 97. Looking to take that stat away from the 64, Chad Brown. See if we can get her done here in 3 and 4, which she is the preferred line, so we can see why not.
And Eric Mickey's starting to join this battle as well, and Nathan Velez is just kind of lurking back there to see how this thing's going to shake out.
Well, guys, we know Mickey's the point leader right now in the Nathan Young Design Speed Car Series. See if we can transfer some of that speed over to the Cup Car, which it looks like he can.
I believe he said his goal here tonight was to beat Peter, so we'll see if he can accomplish that.
Good luck, sir.
Speaking of Peter, and both Cameron Rich, they both had, I'm assuming, pretty long pit stops, or came in and topped off because they're pretty far. Well, I know Peter in the spin, but Cameron Rich still back there with him. Actually, further back than Peter.
Yeah, I think it looks like Cameron might have came in and topped off.
Actually, yeah, quite. He had to because there's a huge separation between those 2 guys. Interesting.
And the strategies are starting already here.
Boy, talk about hard racing. That 7 and 6 have been side by side on teams for a lap and a half there.
Well, he's messing with fire. He's pinching Eric Mickey down like that.
Playing with the laws of net code, Trey.
I know it, buddy.
Giving him plenty of room that time, though.
Must have hurt us.
You would think, because he's had some pretty gnarly net code wrecks this year, if I recall.
Yeah.
Still held his ground, though. There's a lane of separation between those 2 drivers, and he's still maintained over Eric.
Nathan Melez back there in the 8th spot watching this battle, just hoping one of them makes a mistake so he can join in and get past one of them. Looks like he's going to make the move now in the 6th of Eric Mickey, looking low for the 7th spot.
Yeah,
I like when
kind
I'm.
of
Go ahead, Thomas.
I was going to say, it looks like it was kind of stacking the field up behind him.
Yeah, I kind of liking what I'm seeing though. These guys are able to race side by side and multi-groove, especially with this hot track temperature. It's letting these guys do that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, not like I said. Normally, I race in kind of the middle groove track here in Michigan, but maybe the big set, a little slicker track, these guys can hold their own.
It's like Mike Stevens is going to try to take that spot away from Eric. Can't quite do it through 1 and 2.
He's a brave man. He was trying the outside there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he saw Jess get around Eric on the outside, so why not? Why not try it?
7 got a little high that time. I think Nathan's going to have a better run into turn 1 here. Maybe grab that position. Man, I know it's a big set, but that 7 seems to motor down the straightaways.
Yeah, he does. He's getting a heck of a run off the corner.
Finally going to get 48's going to get around him. It's going to open the door maybe for the 6th car here on the bottom.
And he got his nose in there, but he's falling back a little bit. Well,
Felt better of it.
Velez had a pretty poor entry there, and that kind of messed Jess Story up there in the 7th. He slid up the track, and he surrendered the 7th spot to Eric Mickey there.
Looks like he may have bagged that entry up more than what Eric was assuming to get into 3.
Peter Short still climbing up through the field. He was right now in the 10th position. Set the sights on that 63. Now, guys, we saw him get wadded up there at the start of the dirt race. He came back and finished 2nd. Maybe he's trying to do another from beyond the grave attack here.
Well, I tell you what, you ain't gonna win this race with front end damage like he had in that dirt race.
If you're missing a front splitter like he was missing a front wing in that dirt race, you would pretty much be DOA. Or Enzo. Trying to get around Mike Stevens here coming down the front stretch. I mean, we talked about him kind of struggling on the start of those runs. And I guess it's a little different when you start that far in the back, but he's been charging since that restart.
Someone that's not struggling is our leader, Chuck Sweeting. He's so far led 18 laps. He's got about a 1.3 second advantage over Kevin Finn in 2nd place. Consistently turning those quick laps.
Yeah, I believe he's got her dialed in there, Trey. Just gotta hope that we have green flag pit stops for the competition. There may be hoping he can struggle a little bit on pit lane.
Watching this best battle on the track right now. 6, Nathan Belez. Chad Brown is entering the mix a little bit here.
Yeah, boy, they drove away from that 7 car, didn't they? Seems like every time I look up at Eric, he's side by side with somebody.
Oh, might get the the position there. I'm going to stop saying that. Nathan Velez slid up a little bit. He's going to clear him off of turn 4.
I mean, technically it's a stat, I guess. It's just not official.
Looks like that 7 car might have gotten to the wall a little bit at exited turn 4. He's lost 2 positions to Wade Lear and Mike Stevens.
Well, he's trying to fight back though right now with Mike Stevens. Wade Lear and Stevens are side by side. See what Jess Story does back there.
No real damage on the car, so maybe just a little light tap with it. You know, momentum's still pretty big in a cup car, even though, you know, it has all this horsepower. You still can't get bound up out of these corners, especially if you tag the wall a little bit.
Just Mike Stevens just showed us that he drove it hard into turn 3 and he slid up and lost that position to Wade Lear.
This is starting to form a little gaggle here with Corey Lindsay now getting in the mix, running P12, trying to maybe run himself up into the top 10 here.
Notice Matt Hackathorn.
He's starting, like you mentioned it earlier, Thomas. He ventured down into that lower seam, so maybe he's trying to get that car to rotate a little bit better.
I think it's a little bit of that and a little bit of, hey, this guy's running here, so I'm going to run here to get a little fresh air, maybe.
You got to run where they're not, right?
It looks like Corey Lindsey maybe got a little loose there at 4, had to backpedal it at least, and going to cost him a spot, it looks like.
I'll tell you, is after starting shotgun on the field, this restart, Drew Eisman, he's back up to 16th.
Something we never noticed here, change of position. Sam Close just made his way around this 14 of Kevin Fields. He's going to be up in the 2nd spot now.
Now, you might want to keep an eye on him, because we know Mr. Close has been quite the car on the long runs in some of the races in the past, so we'll see if he can maybe track down Mr. Sweeting here.
As you mentioned earlier there, the 7 Just Story still losing spots. Matt Hackathorn made his way by him. And looking now, Mike Stevens trying to make his way into the 11th spot, putting on a little bit of fire.
Looks like that 7, who is a 12, gets a little wiggle there at a 2. Looks like the 7's searching. Just can't seem to find the preferred groove he wants to run in.
Oh, boys, Nathan Velez just makes his way by the 97. That's him in the top 5. He's...
Mike Stevens' little wall contact going to 3, going to cost him 2 spots there. It's Drew Eisman and Cody Wright drive around.
Might cost him a lot more too, Thomas. It's that spot you won't have damage.
No. You're right though, Trey. Drew's still driving through the field here.
Yeah, we'll update the viewers. We've had two cars go behind the wall. Carlos Acosta was talking about technical issues. He parked for the race. Steve Kettman in the 808 has parked it as well. Both done for the night.
Yeah, I noticed that 2 car was running pretty far out of the pack, but I guess he had some frame rate issues and had to call it a night as Peter Short looks to make the move around Chad Brown.
Oh, so we got Kyle Hanshaw joining us in the chat. He's kicking back with a beer to join some OCR TV. Well, we appreciate you joining us tonight, Kyle. Still
fresh off that win.
Yeah, still celebrating his win last night. So glad you could join us. Hope you enjoy the race. Been good so far.
Just cruising through the lap times here. Let's see what they turn this lap, just so I can not be crazy. Yeah, Eric with the 4, Kevin with the 6 that lap, so definitely reeling him in. Also quicker than Sam Close and kind of matching Chuck, so I believe we can get the 6 cars from track position, boys. That might be your battle between the 6 and the 26.
Yeah, he was actually just a tick faster than Chuck that last lap. Eric ran that 43, Chuck ran a 48, so he is just a little bit faster.
I dare say the 14 may have burnt that right front off. It's about 2/10 every lap he's losing. That's normally an indication that car is starting to go away.
I think it's gone there now, yeah.
That's okay, please. That's when you're hoping for a caution.
Yeah, speaking of that, Jess Story still free falling through the field. He just lost another spot to Cody Wright in that 38. Cody's had a quiet race, slowly making his way up. He's currently P12. Paul Ross looking to take advantage of Jess Story next.
The name I expected to be a little further in the front by now. Paul's normally a pretty hard charger to the front, still running P14 in the moment.
Looks like the 17 Cameron Richardson trying to make the move for the 15th spot, which is another surprising spot for that 17 to be in on 63 Mike Stevens. Corey Lindsey's joining in that battle as well.
I think that's kind of the problem. Once you go to make that move, if you can't get it done immediately, you're just going to bring the rest of the draft pack along with you. Some of our playoff drivers, I'm going to keep calling them chasers, which I probably will, because we all know in the end it doesn't really matter what you call them. Race Clark, Brett Miller, all running back here in the 20s. That's not where you want to be.
No,
Danny also back with them.
Yeah, and especially with some of the guys that are looking to get in actually having good runs.
Looks like Eric has motored around Kevin Finn and actually just driven right up to the back bumper of Sam Close. See if he can make
Oh,
the pass
Mike
going into
Stevens wrecking there with the 90.
Caution.
Stevens
Well,
and
caution's
caution's
not out
not
yet.
out.
No caution because he's way off the speedway.
That should be the end of the
Oh,
night for
man.
that 63. He's hurting big time.
It's like he
Wow.
got down on that seam, maybe. Yeah, he fell below that seam, got a little sideways, and nowhere for the 90 to go. Wow.
That might be the end of the night for the 90 as well, because he's going to be battling some overheating issues with the damage that he got on the front end.
Oh, that was
Overheating
rough.
and just flat out gonna be not fast at all after that hit.
That's not what Corey
So-
Lindsay wanted to see. He's right now
No, it is
sitting
not.
27 points is all he's sitting above the playoff bubble, so it's going to be a big predicament for him.
Especially with a big field like this and only 2 drivers as Paul Ross finds the wall at turn 4 there. A big field for that to lose points in.
We got Sam Close coming on pit road.
Maybe trying a little strategy?
Yeah, maybe.
I'm sure this might start pulling some people down pit road now once they see that he's coming down.
Mike Stevens is coming to pit lane after that hard hit. That was kind of a no-brainer there.
Yeah, I'm going to say that Stevens is going to be done for the night after that. He is destroyed.
Sam off of pit lane, see where he's going to cycle back out here. Currently P16 on my ticker, but he hasn't lost a lap.
Yeah, I'm showing him right now 23rd. First car 1 lap down.
I know the tires are important, Trey, but a guy like Eric and Chuck and even Kevin, they have such a gap over the majority of the field here. I don't think they're going to be rushed to pit.
Sorry, guys. Go ahead, Trey, sir.
No, I was going to say I kind of agree with you, Thomas, to see what Chuck runs and versus Sam Close, but they're slowly starting to come down pit road as I think Paul Ross is coming down.
And something that I failed to mention with the Mike Stevens incident also, he's going to be in bad shape too because he's only 13 points in the chase, and Race Clark's 13 points behind him, and Race Clark is currently still in the race.
Yeah, looks like most of the field's starting to peel off here, which Corey Lindsay's going to probably have to pit for that damage. Eric Mickey peeling off the pit lane. Looks like Chuck's going to stay out another lap.
Yeah. If I was Chuck, I would see an Eric come in, and you got Sam Close right there behind you trying to unlap himself. If I was Chuck, I'd pit this lap.
Now, we didn't do the fuel numbers, but that's still a little early for Michigan, even with 75% fuel. Kevin Finn said he's coming in this time, so it's going to cycle us through.
Chad Brown, Nathan Velez are both still out on track, which I hope they'll be coming in soon because they're going to be losing a lot of time to these guys that have come off and on and off for service.
Now, Chuck did stay out.
So put Sam Close back on the lead lap, so he's going to be sitting pretty good. He was the first driver to come down pit lane.
Now, we know Chuck's a smart racer. I'm sure he has his number where he wants to pit no matter what. He's had speed all night long, so looks like he's gonna stick to his strategy and see how it shakes out.
I was just going to bring that up, Trey. I think he knows when he wants to pit. He's played it in his head. He probably knows what he can go to and knows if this race stays green when he needs to pit and not just kind of a panic pit. It's like 48's coming in this time. Yes, he is. So Brooks Westfall, pit lane, Cody Wright, Wade Lear, looks like he's coming off Chad Brown on and off pit lane.
What Chuck must be doing is if this does go green, he must be hoping to only make one more stop for the end of the race.
They went back to green on, what, 17?
I think they pitted around there, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Peter Short,
showing.
Pauling's coming down.
Yeah, we went back to green around 17, 18, so... He's got to be getting close.
Peter Shore, Levi Zielinski down pit lane for service. I believe there's going to be the 7 Jess Story coming down as well. We saw him start falling back to the field earlier.
I mean, surely you can do 30 laps.
Yeah, but they're going to be pretty close on that number. Some of those guys pitting that early. They clearly weren't going to try and stretch it at all.
If it is 30 laps, these guys pitting now should be good as Danny Dalmeda slides to his pit box there. That's going to hurt him even more from what he was before.
Good old 55 miles an hour. Looks like Drew Eisman's still playing his long game here as he's up to P2 yet to pit. So here Chuck Sweeting's coming to pit lane.
He is going to come down this time.
I don't blame Johnny Thomas for staying out because he had nothing to lose. He was running back around P20.
He also slides through his box.
So looks like Chuck did right around what, Thomas? 30 laps? I don't know.
Less than that.
About 28, I think, guys?
Yeah, if they went back on 17, they're on 45 now.
So 28.
Which is right. It's kind of close to the Pocono number, if I'm correct, right? Around 25, 28, something like that. It's going to leave Drew Eisman out there still.
He did stop and top off at the very end of the
yeah, that's
pacing. That should give you a lap. Yeah,
it is, because he's pitting flat.
My God, we're smart. We shock
Still,
ourselves sometimes.
From here, you're not going to make it, so... It's a 100-lap race. Not really sure why you'd stretch it that far. You're not going to gain anything.
If this does go green to the end, these guys might be the only few that can make it on fuel. As we saw, they looked like geniuses 2 weeks ago, Poconos. They might be trying to do that again.
Well, I think everybody's going to have to pit at least once.
Yeah, because you're not even on lap 50. So if you can go 28, that's going to get you in a 78.
Then you shouldn't have to pit again.
Hopefully. Yeah, that's the plan.
I
see what you're saying. Yeah, those earlier guys are going to be even bigger struggle there.
They're going to have to save a lot of fuel, or they're going to have to do a 2-stopper. So that might be where this is coming into play. But I'm not a fuel guy, so don't be surprised if everybody can make it on fuel and nobody can.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Chuck. As long as he stayed out, he's showing what 7 seconds back from Sam Close, and now Chuck's got what 5 to 6, 7 lap fresher tires than Sam.
Yeah, at least. So yeah, I mean the tires help on the short run here, but it's gonna come back and bite you probably. Honestly, I think a lot of guys are banking this won't go green to the end.
Not even 7 seconds. Chuck is officially 5.8.
It's a big delta what he picked up there, I believe, guys.
Now, I believe Eric Mickey got a speeding penalty.
I believe so.
He is on the lead lap,
14.6 seconds off the lead, though.
See, he can probably get himself back on the top 10, maybe a little bit closer into it, but he's going to need a caution.
Maybe do a little digging there.
Well, right now, your leader Sam Close, this will be the first time he's going to be leading this race, I believe. And Kevin Finn will be second place. And Chuck Sweeting, third spot.
Yeah,
yeah, he got a speeding penalty.
Yeah, Chuck just chopped a second off that lead, so he's a second quicker with those tires.
Yeah, that's crazy. Already he's that much quicker. Not quite a second quicker than Kevin Finn, though, so I believe Kevin can kind of maybe reel in Sam, but Chuck's going to be probably breathing on his neck before he can even get to Sam. That shifted way clear to the top 5, boys. Though that's a stout run from him.
We are halfway.
That's going to give Sam the halfway bonus point. As if he needed it.
So I say he's already locked in, so that's just icing on the cake, I think.
That shows you one thing though. When these green flag races, you cannot make any mistakes coming in on and off pit lane. You just lose so much time, even if you don't get a speeding penalty or anything like that. Just having a slow entry and a slow exit can really hurt your progress. Because, well, even as we see Cameron Rich and Carl side by side, even Chad Brown was running what in the top 5. Now he's running 8th. So Cameron's gonna get that spot over Paul Ross.
Well, should we try it, guys?
Sure, I'm sure no one wants us to go green, right?
I'm gonna go through the field here. Right now, your race leader, the 5, is Sam Close.
Running P2, trying to track him down to 1 point, well, even more than that, less than just over a second now for Kevin Finn, trying to run down Sam Close.
Running third, Chuck Sweeting, who's definitely chopping his lead in half. He's down to 2 seconds from the leader.
Running oh, sorry, man, I forgot you went first.
Sorry, messed everything up there. And my pick for this race, starting in the 4th position with the 48, Nathan Velez.
Running P5, trying to rebound from that earlier mishap with the 48, Peter Short, looking to try to get back to the front.
And someone we don't talk about much, he's having a great run tonight. That 0-3 of Wade Lear, currently running 6th.
In 7th spot, we have his first start this season, the Cold Hard Art Cup Series, 97, Levi Zielinski.
Running P8, started P13 on the field, so a nice little drive up to the front here, and well, back half of the top 10 for Chad Brown, looking to get a few more here.
You know, I say this, but it's a little uncharacteristic. He's still in the top 10, but he's back in 9th. That 17 of Cameron Rich.
And we're running out your top 10 here of the field, the 18 of Paul Ross. And you guys, he's qualified 6th. I expect to see him back up in the top 5 before too long if he can get some strategy going for him.
Ah, heck, let's do a few more while we're at it, boys. No caution, so we're breaking the jinx here. Eric Mickey running P11, came in at a whopping 67 miles an hour to pit lane, so looking to rebound from that 15-second stop and hold I'm sure he got.
Cody Wright currently running 12th. As not to break this up, but we got Chuck Sweeting right on the tail end of Kevin Finn, who did make his way around Sam Close, so battle for the lead.
Yeah. New leader?
Yep, new leader.
So all that unfolded pretty much in a lap as Sam Close went from the lead to 3rd. That's by the time the scoring finally updated.
That was a pretty successful run through the field, I think.
Yeah, I believe that's the first time we've done it where something hasn't happened, so
I did catch out of the corner of my eye, though. There was almost something happened with Sam Close and the 32 of Jeffrey Acree.
yeah, I was wondering what he was talking about as he heard the driver chat as they're going through the field. Boys, I got a feeling Chuck's going to set sail on these boys with the freshest tires here.
Oh, yeah. Don't look now, but that Levi Zielinski's been pretty fast, too. He's already made his way around Wade Lear. He's currently running 6th.
Yeah, I think that's one of the, I'd give him the drive of the day so far. You know, first race back. Not sure how many official races he's been doing lately, but hasn't been in the league for quite some time, so definitely turning some heads tonight.
Yeah, Drew Eisenman was able to get around Paul Ross to move Drew up to 11th in that 77 machine.
He was the last to hit, I believe, right, guys?
Yes.
I know he stayed out for that extra lap, but I don't understand why he didn't, because he's got decent pace in that car. He would actually be a lot further up the field.
He was actually faster than Chuck that last time by, and he was making a pass.
But that's why we're up here, Trey.
Yeah.
We have a guy on the grass down there. Stand by and see who it is. Oh, Wade Lear. He's in big trouble there. He hammered that inside wall.
Was running P8, but that's probably going to be game over.
Yeah, well, it's good to know. It's good to know that our run through the field jinx is still active.
Man, it looks like he just lost it at a 4. Almost had it saved, and threw up a little gravel on the front stretch, and KO'd her as he almost collected Cameron Rich. Holy cow.
believe he shut his engine off from pit road, so he might try to get it fixed before he goes to flat. But she's pretty toast there by the looks of her.
I'd seen better days. That's a shame too, though.
Yes, he had a great car. He was up in the top 5 for some time. He was really battling well in the top 10, but those little mistakes will get you, I guess.
Yeah, those little mistakes, Matt, of hitting the inside wall will tend to injure knife.
Oh, guys, Sam Close is coming down pit lane. Not sure if this is scheduled or not, but it looks like it is.
Little. How long's he in that right front edge?
Let's see.
It's been there a while. Yeah, so it's.
Oh, come to think of it, he did netcode the wall, so that's probably where that came from.
Yes'ms. Yeah, he was one of the first to initiate the first rounds of stops, so I'm sure this is right on par for what he was looking for.
I'm going to sit back here and try to do a little bit of math.
Uh-oh.
So my number's going to be totally off, so just be prepared.
Can you please do that in American? Looks like Drew has been trying to work over Chad Brown here for P7. It's a good run off of 2. They're going to cut underneath him and drive away down the backstretch.
He's going to try. Slide up there in front of him. Eric Mickey's up to 9th, trying to recover from that speeding penalty. He's gaps kind of staying the same with Chuck, but he's going to need a caution to get back into this race.
Well, guys, looking now just at the math on Sam Close's stops, the first one was 21 laps into the run, and the second one was 19 laps into the run. So if we continue on that idea, he's going to be making 2 more pit stops, I believe, till the end, unless he stretches this one out just a little bit longer.
I don't. That's like the Paul Ross strategy at that time. I don't think that's going to work.
No.
He'll be right on the edge if he's going to try to do this.
Yeah, but everyone else is going to do what, 1?
Yeah, 1.
Yeah.
Plus, we saw what Chuck did the last stop, stayed out late, got those fresh tires, and was able to motor past them.
Speaking of which, Trey, this should be, when he comes down, Chuck's last pit stop of the night when he comes down, I believe.
Yeah, if he does the full stint again, he's looking to get to, what, another 28 laps out of that, and he pitted. Ooh, my memory is terrible. 46 coming to 47, so he's still got a few laps left to turn there.
Into the field here, Nathan Velez has made his way up into the 3rd position with Sam Close coming down to pit lane, so move him up, and also Peter Short up to 4th, which is great for his how he started the evening.
Yeah, the 48 of Velez there, he's not too far off the back bumper of Kevin Finn either. They've got a huge gap over Peter Short, so they can kind of battle this out if they need to.
Well, guys, he did run 2/10 quicker than Kevin Finn that last lap. Let's see what he does this lap. As Finn looked like he had some trouble getting off at turn 4, he pedaled a little bit.
We saw that last time, Matt. He just did not have the pace as that long run held up. That 14 kind of burned the tire off. Which is kind of shocking, considering he was so good at Charlotte in the long run, but you know, different track.
Is still closing the gap here, trying to put his way up into the 2nd spot before he comes in for service in pit lane. Real nice run there.
Rusty Webb trying to pass Chuck, get one of his laps back. He is 2 laps down, now putting 1 lap down.
Yeah, currently 17 vehicles on the lead lap, so still a decent number for as green as he's been here. It's like Johnny Thomas going to try and hang on to the lead lap.
Yeah, Johnny's been struggling all race long, kind of been hanging back there in the back half of the top 15. He's currently running 17th, and looks like he's going to lose a lap to Chuck here.
Yeah, he said it on Twitter before he came in. He's not happy where the pace is at on the big track. So still obviously searching for a little bit of pace. So we see the fresh tires and Sam Close drive right by Chuck. But he's gonna need more than that though. He needs to unlap himself and pretty much motor away from Chuck as much as he can.
Yeah.
Well, 48 is now up to the back bumper of Kevin Finney to try to make the move here going into turn 3 and 4. No, he does not. He stays behind him. He closed that gap pretty nicely, though, and he's still running some pretty nice lap times there. 40.2 last time by, even though Chuck's running. Oh, Chuck and him ran about the exact same time last time around.
Yeah, they've got but Chuck has a nice 7-second cushy lead there.
Yeah, Chuck might be dialing her back just a bit.
He could save a little bit and try and go an extra lap if he feels like he needs it.
Yeah.
A little bit more insurance is always better, I guess.
Unless it's State Farm. Hey-o! Come on, we haven't had a bad joke all night.
No kidding.
We got Mike Stevens joining us in the chat. He said, sad day, and he says definitely going to put a damper in this chase hopes. Yeah, Mike, you like you had a pretty fast car there. Just looks like you got a little loose and pounded the wall. So you'll get him next week.
You still got time, bro. There's some good races coming up. I'm sure you can either get those points back and maintain, or where's Race Clark?
He's not looking too bad.
P12 for race
12.
right now, so
Yeah.
I mean, that's good for Danica.
oh, yes, it is.
Well, guys, Velez is caught up to the back bumper of Kevin Finn, but he hasn't seemed to be able to make the move on him. He's just kind of searching around now. Maybe he's made the right front tire a little bit mad.
It's kind of like he got a little arrow wash behind the 14 there. He kept pushing the nose up when he got behind him.
And he did. Chuck Sweeting put almost a full second on both of these guys that last time around.
Well, you know, Matt, sometimes you just got a motor. So. Speaking of motor, it looks like Eric's trying to finally catch Cameron Rich here. I heard Cameron a minute ago say he wasn't going to hold him up, but I don't believe he's close enough to worry about holding him up at the moment. Still got some work to do to catch him.
Yeah, they're still running pretty consistent lap times with each other, so it's going to be hard to make that forward. I lost what I was going to say, but Kevin Finn's the only reason to be coming down pit road next time, bud.
It looks like the pit lane heavens have opened again as Chad Brown's on pit lane. Looks like Jeffrey Acree. Yeah, and Cody Wright. So round 2 of pit stops begin.
That's amazing, man. Chuck just ran a 40 flat.
That's flying.
Compare that to Kevin Finn's 40.48 last lap.
Let's hope Kevin Finn can keep her under the speed limit down here, which he should be able to do. Ooh, it's almost at a bit, but he keeps her slow and straight.
I know people think it looks easy, but that's a pretty tough pit lane to get in because you're carrying so much speed trying to get woed up.
Yeah, you're coming out of those corners going probably 185, around there. I wouldn't say 190 there, but between 180, 185, and it's hard to get her woed down and not KO the wall on your way in.
Yeah, the bigger problem is the worn out tires too.
Yeah, you don't have much grip whatsoever.
It's like
Wade
Nathan
coming in?
Velez going to come in.
I like that arc he takes come in though. He
Yeah.
kind of straightens it up before he gets in so he can really get on the brakes hard.
Yeah, that was a good call there. I thought he was going too fast, but that was pretty much textbook. I don't think he lost any time on pit entry. Richard Hines,
This guy-
please. Yeah.
Cameron Rich pulling his best Corey Bunch impression there on the entry of pit lane.
Oh, we almost ended it there.
Ooh, that was... He was probably saying a prayer on that one. That might get a penalty because he hit that pit cone.
He might get a penalty. He was going 65 at time of entry, but he slowed down quite considerably right after.
Have Eric Mickey also on and off pit lane. Richard Hines rolling out.
17 is serving a penalty
Yep.
right now.
Yep. That's
Hey,
going
you
to
hit
kill it.
that cone. They're pretty pretty tough on that one. This Chuck's heading to pit lane this time.
That's going to put him outside the window, I believe, for
No, he's
a
good.
one stopper, isn't it?
He's good.
No, it shouldn't, because he's coming to 73, and if he can do,
Oh, okay, yes, I missed that one.
he'll be right on the number.
Drew Reisman and Peter Short, I believe, are still out on track. Peter Short's coming down now, so he's on the same strategy as the 26. It's going to help him, actually, because he's going to be running right on that number. 22's coming in.
Yeah, they'll be right on the number, huh? Should pick up a few spots if he can stay green. Although he was already pretty much almost up to the third position before they pitted. So
Yeah.
pretty much where he's going to end, maybe a second place if he can leapfrog Kevin. Looks like clean stop for Chuck there.
Eisman is going to make the hard left-hander down to pit road here, so that's going to do a complete cycle, I believe, on everybody that has not pitted yet.
All the lead lap cars. I think, did Johnny Thomas come in? Yes, he did. So yeah, that pretty much cycles us through.
So Eisman will have one extra lap over Chuck. I don't think Chuck's going to be off the number whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't think he needs it. The one extra lap's kind of, it's nice to have, but I don't think you're going to need it.
But like we said there, Sam Close,
Playing a strategy
there's
again.
there's a whole host of them there that will not be able to make it without having to make one more stop. So see what happens between those guys.
I believe, I'm looking for the cycle. Is Chuck already back into P2 through this cycle? So he's
Yes.
already going to just have to motor down to catch Sam.
Right now, Race Clark being scored in the 15th position. 16th, sorry. So be one lap down, I believe.
Yep. Kevin Rich going to be the last car currently on the lead lap after that pit stop speeding penalty.
Race Clark cycled through to 19th. That's a little bit better for Mike Stevens because Mike's right now in the 24th spot. So he's not going to be falling out of the chase to Race Clark as of yet.
I believe Race fell back so far too is because he pitted late trying to make it on fuel.
That's true. So if he might gain some spots, it's gonna be close here. We might have a tie going in the next week's event here for the Cold Hard Air Cup Series.
Because you gotta look, someone like Drew Eisman fell all the way back to what 10th, 11th through that cycle, and you know he's gonna drive further forward than that. It allows people like Eric Mickey to leapfrog back up and get to what's he on P6 when he was running behind these guys before that stop. So.
Yeah, I don't even think, Thomas, that Chuck really has to drive that hard because I fully believe Sam Close is going to have to pit again. I mean, Chuck's 3.8 seconds behind. Why push it?
Well, you gotta lead every lap, man. That's a race, right?
That's what they say.
Well, he ran a 38.5 to his 39.9 last lap, so.
Yeah, he's already cut it down to under 2 seconds this time. So
And a 40.4 in traffic last lap. Whew.
Wow.
Chuck chopped over a second off that lead.
Sam is still up there battling with Rusty Webb, who's looking to get his lap back here. Is he 2 down? Honestly, put him back on the lead lap, I believe.
Not for long, though.
Yeah, not for long.
He's gonna get. Oh, it's, Five's coming down
Sam.
pit lane again.
Now, if I were him, I'd just take fuel.
No, you've gotta have tires. There's too many laps left.
And not going to gain much on anybody that's just pitted, though. If he hits the cone, it might be speeding, so.
You're not gonna gain anything with this strategy, to be honest. You kind of shot yourself in the foot from the beginning. It's like a Dell Jr. Indy strategy here.
Let's not get into that. That still baffles me.
I don't know. I mean, I would have thought because that's the same teammate to Paul Ross, right? They knew that strategy didn't work at Charlotte, I believe, or another track maybe. It's just too early. You can't pit that soon.
Just as you say Paul Ross's name, he is also coming down for service on pit lane.
Well, I guess a team will be a team.
What if they race together or they die together, right?
We saw the Eisentech cars play out some same strategy together before. Honestly, not this early of pitting, but you know, sometimes teams want to work on a plan.
He's going to briefly lose a lap here to Chuck. Excuse me, but I fully expect him to get that lap back, and I don't think Chuck's going to try to keep it from him. He doesn't have to. There's no way that Sam can come around and pass Chuck again. Not with 20 to go.
No, he would have to be Superman. And honestly, the fall off on that 26 car has just been pretty steady all night, so no worries there.
If my numbers are correct here, guys, which they're probably not,
Oh, God.
but Velez might be a lap short on fuel come to the end of this event. He's currently scored in the 3rd position.
Well, we saw gotta save a lap at Pocono, so I don't see why you can't save a lap here.
He's also starting to get into the draft, Kevin Finn, so that'll help a lot too, so we might be able to make her.
Of course, saying that in my head, it's almost probably twice as hard to save fuel in Michigan than Pocono. And make lap time.
Yeah, it'd be
Supposed to
sacrificing some lap time.
Dying through 3 and 4 there.
That car looks like it went through a blender.
I think he just kind of rolled out of it.
I tell you, hats off to Eric Mickey. He fought his way back up to 4th place after that speeding penalty, the last green flag pit stops.
You know he's screaming for a caution, because that would put him right back in this game, but probably the 2nd quickest car all night.
Another one to notice here, guys, is the guy's making his first start this season. 97, Levi Zelensky, right now placed in the 6th position. He's been quiet all night, hasn't gotten into any trouble, and just kind of motored along.
Yeah, he's had a very strong race, Matt. You're absolutely correct. He's running some very good lap times as well.
You know what they say, follow the guy who wins a lot. So who's he following? Peter Short. Not a bad call there.
It's like Sam will unlap himself.
Chuck's like, yeah, I'll draft off of you, but I'll get some free draft here.
Eric Mickey, guys, also might be short on fuel, based on my numbers.
He should be, because he did not pit as late as some of the others.
He's 3 laps off of what Chuck and Peter, and I believe Race Clark and Kevin Ridge put it on. As we
go ahead, sorry.
Let's say we saw Velez is coming right back up on the back of Kevin Finn now. If I were him, I'd like to stay in that draft, but haul me around just a little bit so I can save that little bit of fuel and try to get myself a good solid P2 victory or P2 finish. Sorry.
The victory of P2.
Hey, I'd be thrilled with the P2, man. It'd be a victory.
Looks like maybe, I mean, if you're faster, you gotta get around the 14. We saw what happened last time when he drove up to him and just couldn't get around. I feel like he maybe waited because he thought his car would come in and it never really came in enough to get around him. Got the 83 breathing down his neck though.
There you go. We have Velez trying to make the move. We should be able to clear him here. He's got a nice roll through the center. That's put him up to P2.
Now, save fuel.
Kevin Finn also has to save fuel. Look at my numbers, so this might be a saving fuel to the stripe kind of race because Eric Mickey is 12 seconds behind. The next closest person, or sorry, not 12. He's 5 seconds behind. The next closest person is 6 seconds behind, and Peter Short, who does not have to save fuel, so he might find his way into the top 3.
Very true. Very true. I can hear the radio message now though. I need you to make time, but also save fuel. Thanks.
Yeah.
That's when you rip your radio cord right out of the car.
And I don't see that button on my steering wheel. Is there a fuel saving button? I don't. Clutch it, I would assume, here, as we saw at Pocono. Maybe even turn the car off, although that can also be disastrous if you don't have the right button set up.
Yes. So we got Ron Malawi for life joining us in chat. He says, America. I would like to correct you there, Ron. It's America.
I think I know what Ron that is.
I was gonna say.
Hi, Ron. It's like Paul Ross gonna motor around Eric Mickey here with a fresher Tyrese.
Tell him to get in this Ferrari and shut the fuck up, right?
I think he would rather be in his Ferrari than the 6 hours of hell he had in a Mercedes.
Right. Hey, but y'all won that race, right?
Unbelievably, somehow. I guess the racing gods give you one every now and then. He learned how to pretty much get through parked traffic on the track, though, so it was good for Ron.
Oh.
We also found out what the incident limit was, too, for someone in the room. That was amazing.
In an endurance race?
Yeah, there's actually no limit, but it stops counting after, I think, 1023.
Oh,
What?
my. Was that Carlos Acosta?
Oh. Probably maybe a cousin or a brother, because it was pretty amazing. I think we checked the results after that event, and they walked away with 0. Like, they had 0 safety rating left.
I don't think I could ever possibly manage that many incidents. I can get a lot, but I don't think I can get over 1,000. And I guess we'll have a moment of silence to pay respect to those poor souls.
Welcome to Spa, folks. Looks like Eric's still holding off Peter short here, but maybe Peter catching him just, well, not really that last time I thought he was, but within the same zip code. And he's got his teammate / owner right behind him with the freshest tires of the bunch, Mr. Drew Eisman.
And speaking of, you was wondering if Nathan Velez was short on fuel. He's not running like it. He has pulled away from Kevin Finn, and he's running comparable lap times to Chuck. So apparently, that 48 is not concerned with his fuel numbers.
I'll tell you too,
To go.
that 14 has hit that virtual wall.
Well, we saw it last run
2/10
times.
slower. Yeah, it's just, I think he's just hanging on. And if he's tight, that is not going to help his fuel savings. As Matt can tell you.
I suck with fuel. Oh, guys, it sounded just a little bit there like Velez was just waiting on a little bit longer than he did the last time around. I was just right on his cockpit is the only reason I know.
I thought you maybe had some live telemetry coming out of that car, Matt.
That's what's coming up on my other computer screen over here. It's either that or an earthquake, I'm not sure which.
In Canada, eh? Yeah, so we're less than 10 to go. I'm going to see who's got one. Pretty confident Matt's numbers are correct. So.
Yeah, it shouldn't be.
I mean, he used metric and everything.
The hell with metric.
I know they're short in gallons, Matt, but what's that in liters?
Well, they'd be about 3 liters short if they're 1 gallon short. A little bit better than 3 liters, actually.
See, still rocking. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Trey.
I was going to say about the only battle on track is you got race Danica Patrick starting to close in on Jeff Story for that 14th position. And would definitely benefit.
Ooh, it's
races
in the wall.
Yep, there you go.
That's one way to pass
we
him.
got one in the grass.
Who is that?
So hard to. Yeah, it's Jeffrey Creed in the grass. Hard to find those people from the grass. Doing a little lawn service care, and if you notice, that infield is not smooth. As many craters as a teenage boy's face.
You can jump the victory lane there quite easily. It's been done.
It's been done to death.
As Chuck just put 12th place driver Cody Wright one lap down, so we got 11 cars on the lead lap.
Tell you what, that's helping race as well, because he's just motoring these guys down as soon as he laps them. So
Brooks Westfall now down to pit road to get his final service done with very little laps to go. That's gonna hurt.
That's when you need fuel only. And he missed his pit stall. So. Looks like he did take fuel only though, so maybe he can sneak out in front of a few fellers. Looks like old Drew Eisman trying to reel in his teammate there, Peter Short. Not sure if he's going to be able to get around him. Looking like he's maybe got the better handling car at the moment as he does drift up through 3 and 4. Gonna take the look into one here. Maybe gonna getting a roll out for him there. Looks like he's gonna let Drew slide back in. Oh, Johnny Thomas hard in the wall at a turn 2 there. Gonna not really cost him anything, just maybe a few incident points.
Yeah, he's probably ready to leave Michigan. He's probably frustrated. He's like, the hell with this.
Johnny Thomas frustrated? No.
Let's see if Eric can track down Kevin Finn for third.
Kevin ran 4/10 slower that lap than Eric. 3/10, sorry.
You know, it'd be a nice recovery, a nice finish for Eric, but you know he's kicking himself for that pit road penalty.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the same thing with Chuck last week, or 2 weeks ago at Pocono. Just, you know, you want to get all you can get because there's pretty much free time to gain on pit lane, and just you overcook it just a little bit, and it's going to cost you 15 seconds. At least, sometimes more than that if you get excessive speed.
Well, we'll see if we can track him down. We got room to go.
Guys, if you haven't noticed yet, Nathan Velez is back his pace way off. He's going to be falling back into the clutches of Kevin Finn and Eric Mickey here. Before he
he's on
slaps
the
the wall.
That's not what you want to do. Don't talk about him, Matt. You're jinxing him. God.
I also have to start talking about people who are already on jail.
I mean, we're down to 10 cars, and that's actually put Race Clark up to P11 at the moment, so...
He's running competitive lap times, too.
Yeah, I mean, he was one of the later ones to pit, so it's... I mean, no, he's a lap down, but it's actually working in his favor to gain some here at the end.
Right now, guys, this is going to put him in the playoff bubble. He's going to be right in the picture.
It's like Heisman ran about 2/10 quicker than Eric that lap, who ran about 2/10 quicker than Kevin Finn.
Yeah, we got two to go. We'll see if we can track him down. See how much of a fight Kevin puts up here. It looks like Eric's probably going to catch him. I'm going to guess going into turn 1, maybe coming out of turn 4.
Question is, can he make it on fuel?
Well, right now, guys, there's the white flags being displayed, but right now, Eric Mickey and Kevin Finn have pitted a lap earlier than the 48, so I'm thinking they must be good.
Well, we're just in it now.
I'm thinking you have no choice but to make.
Yep, Eric Mickey's there on the exit of turn 2. We'll see if he can get that run down the backstretch.
Well, as we watch that, looks like Chuck Sweeting's going to come out of turn 4 here and claim his first win of the season here in 3 wide. Dominant fashion.
It's a great race there by Chuck as the 6 of Eric Mickey is now underneath the 14 of Kevin Finn. Will be side by slide, drag race to the line.
It's like Eric's going to win that battle.
Get him. It's a drag race.
He's out of gas.
Oh, not again.
He's out of gas. Oh, man.
Wow.
Wow.
Incredible. Drew Eisman
Wow.
on another fuel strategy race comes home 5th position.
How often do you see that?
It's 2 weeks in a row we had a battle of the line for fuel strategy.
Just, I mean, that's not even, that's like a huff of a fume to get you there.
100 meters
Incredible
short,
race.
right?
That is,
Wow.
yeah, that's incredible.
Guys, we ran from lap 17 on green flag races. Oops. Wow.
Yeah,
Green flag
outstanding.
laps.
Outstanding race.
Did you get, that sets up amazing finishes like that for second and third, or third and fourth, and then allows guys like Drew Eisman to drive back through the field up to 5th. heard Chad Brown maybe ran in a fuel in the last lap, ended up 9th still. And then Race Clark, like we mentioned, Matt drove all the way back to 11th.
Yeah, good race for Race.
That's racing.
It was just, that was probably one of the second most exciting races after Pocono. I love fuel strategy, so I'm a little bit biased in that effect.
Yeah, I don't know if we could beat Pocono quite yet. That was pretty intense.
Yeah, especially for the win. But that was great to see also. Chuck Sweeting getting his first win. And just a great race all the way around. It was hard racing from everybody. This Chuck's burning her down.
Yeah,
Pull her
without
in
a
the
di-
victory circle.
Yeah, without a doubt, that was a great race throughout the field, man. It was great.
A lot of hard, clean racing too. A lot of respect shown
Yep.
between the field there. Well, what do you say we try and grab a few of these fellers here?
I think that second
Gently.
place finisher is going to be ecstatic.
I think the third place finisher is going to be ecstatic because he
Yeah, he lost
he
and
did
got it
he
right
didn't
back.
have it until we had right at the end.
Lost it with coming out of turn 4, and he gained her back. Pulling the stripe. And we got him. Kevin Finn in that 14 machine. He
Yep,
looked like
sorry.
he was going to end. Yeah. Go ahead, Trey.
Fucking wrong buttons. Yeah, so he started outside pole, finished third. Drove the wheels off that thing, Kevin. Looked like you were kind of struggling with long run speed, but you were able to bring it home third. Tell us about your race, man.
Yeah, I definitely had the short run speed. With the long run, I was struggling trying to catch up to Chuck. No one had it for him tonight. He was real fast. And I think you get around 28, 29 laps of fuel, and I was just clutching it with about 20 to go, trying to save as much fuel as I could.
Now, Kevin, we saw coming in that, I mean, kind of judging off what we saw at Pocono, that it was probably going to go green. We thought maybe a caution too early on to kind of set the pace, but did it shock you that from 17 on it went straight green and you kind of had to start worrying about fuel pretty much after that first round of stops?
Yeah, kind of. You guys in this league really know how to keep their cars on four wheels most of the time, so I always plan for a fuel strategy for green flag, and I just missed it by about 3 to 4 laps, so I really had to clutch it with about 25 to go.
What were your thoughts when you saw Eric Mickey there in the 6 make his way by you coming into turn 4, then you just immediately take it back coming across the stripe? That must have been pretty intense battling for the last step on the podium.
Oh yeah, I was watching him and my relative and trying to catch up to Nathan, try to keep him in my sights and trying to save fuel. It was really frustrating. It was really fun. I saw him pass me on the inside, and I said, oh, there it is. He got third. I guess not. I just saw him drop back, and I ran out of gas right at the line too. So I guess I had a 10th more than him.
About a half a cup of fuel, I think, is all you guys needed to make her back to the line. Then.
Yeah, just a spit of fuel.
All right, Kevin. Well, outstanding race. Looking good heading towards the playoffs. You know the deal, man. Give us those shout-outs, brother.
Well, first, I got to shout out to you guys for doing the streams, and Pure Wide Racing League, and my girlfriend's watching, so I'll shout out to her, I guess. And my team, Avon Racing, trying to get all of us in the chase. So, yeah, that's about it.
All right, Kevin. I don't know if the producer can edit out that shout out to my girlfriend, I guess. But we'll leave you to.
I guess.
We'll leave you to deal with that with her. But great race, man. Solid top 5 all night long. Brought it home third. Look forward to seeing you next race, bud.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
That totally won't make the highlight reel.
No. All right, boys. I'm pushing the right button this time. He started 7th. He brought it home 2nd. It's been a while since we talked to him. Shown a lot of speed. Hadn't had a lot of luck, but things went kind of his way tonight. Tell us about your race tonight, Nathan.
So what's going on, guys? I I just try to be consistent, and with all the bad luck that I've had recently, this season actually, I just wanted to get a good finish. Last season I did well and led 57 of the 100 laps, but Chuck was just blazing tonight. So I was just trying to keep it clean. I'm not sure what happened with Peter. I apologize to Peter if that was my fault. But yeah, I was just trying to keep it clean and try and get a good finish. I need a lot of these finishes to make the chase. Might just have to wait till next year. We'll see though.
Well, we know he had the speed tonight there, Nathan. Are you hoping not just these finishes, but maybe you can steal a win here? We've still got 5 races left to get in the playoffs, and a win will get you there, not just having to bank on those points. You got any tracks coming up on the schedule? Maybe you're circling?
Let me check. My best track was probably Michigan. California is good for me. Let's see.
Oh, well, we've got the wild card coming up next of Daytona. Anybody can win that one.
That is true. That is true.
Or end up on the hook. I
mean,
I guess I know people look at that one. But...
I'm decent at Indianapolis. I mean, I can't say I'm like really good at any of the following tracks coming up. I'm decent enough to get a good finish. Winning, I don't know. I mean, Peter's fast. You got Cameron. You got Sam Close. All those guys are extremely fast. So, I mean, I just, I don't see anything that's coming up that I'm exceptional at. Decent, sure. Kentucky, I'm pretty good at Kentucky most of the time. So, I'm hoping. We'll see.
All right, Nathan, great race, man. And before we let you go, give us those shout-outs, brother.
I'd like to give a shout-out to Cold Heart Art, our sponsor, OCR TV. For you guys do a great job every week. Every Tuesday, I go on my computer at work and I watch the replay of the race, whether I jacked up or had a bad race or just, I just like to watch the race. Also, 3 Wide Racing. They put on a great league. It's a lot of fun to race.
All right, Nathan. Well, if you're Nathan Velez's boss and you happen to see that he's using the computer on company time to watch us broadcast, don't blame him. Hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you join us as well. Nathan, great race. Started P2, or excuse me, P7, brought it home P2. Good luck moving forward, my man.
Thank you guys.
Nothing like using company time to watch a great quality broadcast there, Trey.
Speaking of company time, I don't have nothing to do with that segue.
No segue.
But anyway, I got him. Winner, chicken dinner. Wasn't sure if he's going to make the race. He's in the middle of a big move.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. He's in the middle of a big move. Glad that he could take some time to join us tonight, even though the other driver's probably not. But Chuck Sweeting started 3rd, led 81 laps, pretty much pulled the field's pants down, took the paddle to him. Chuck, tell us about your race, man.
Hey guys, it was a good race. I enjoyed it. Loved the setup. It was a little snug on entry and center, but had a really good rotation on throttle, which is how I like to set up. So it worked well for me tonight. Good clean racing. Everybody gave each other a lot of room, a lot of respect. It's a good night.
Well, Chuck, you're no stranger to victory lane. We've seen you in different leagues, different broadcasts. We have been a front runner and win a few races we've covered. So I know you signed up for a full charter here for the rest of the season here in the Cold Hard Art Cup Series. Got any more tracks coming up in the future schedule here you're looking forward to maybe circle to get another win outside of Daytona coming up next week?
Oh, it's not likely to get a win there. I'll be lucky to survive. I don't know. You never know what can happen there. But I don't know. I'm just looking forward to racing. I really like the league, and Corey's put together a great group of guys, and seems to be a lot of respect. They have a lot of fun, and I don't know. We'll just see. It depends on setup. If setup's good for me, then I might do good, and if not, I'll take what I can get, whatever track we go to. I haven't really even looked at the schedule, so I've been so busy with the move and all.
Now I'm gonna jump ahead of Matt unless you have another question here, Matt.
No, I'm good. You go.
Well, I was gonna ask. We saw during the race that some of the guys started their short pit strategy, and we know, as you've been a regular in the chat before, you were kind of the guy that gave us the fuel numbers. So did you go ahead and have that number in your head saying, "I know I need to pit here to make it with one less stop than some of the other guys"?
Yeah, definitely. I came into practice tonight and did a 25 lap run, so I knew exactly how far I could go. Being a 100 lap race, I thought, well, if it goes caution free, can we do it on 2 stops or we got to do it on 3? And it was going to be a 3-stop race, but we had that caution early. And then I saw some of the guys short pitting, and I'm like, they're going to be really close on fuel and probably have to save a little bit. And I didn't want to have to do that, so I pushed it where I knew I could run as hard as I needed to, and so yeah, I came in tonight. I feel like I gave one away at Pocono, so I didn't want to do that tonight. I came in the pit road, like Grandma, nice and slow and obeying all the speed limits and everything, and didn't slide through my box tonight, and just didn't want to make any mistakes and give it away.
Well, you talk about Grandma coming down pit road. I bet you Eric Mickey, who was probably your closest competitor tonight. No offense to the rest of the field, but he did exactly that. I think it was the second green flag pit stop. He came down and got caught speeding, and it set him back. He ended up finishing 4th, but kind of ruined his shot at chasing you down, Chuck. And I was worried because, at the beginning of the broadcast, which I know you're going to go back and watch because you love OCR TV, but, I picked you to win, and I thought, man, the last time I picked Chuck to win, he was bell rolling down Bristol, so he's probably going to send me some hate mail tomorrow, but I'm glad that curse is broken.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I saw him coming on my relative, and because he didn't qualify very well, or maybe he didn't put in a lap.
Well,
I'm not
that's
sure.
typical Eric.
Yeah, and next thing I know, he's in second, and he's maintaining or gaining on me towards the end of that first full run, and then all of a sudden he wasn't there anymore, and I'm like, uh-oh, I bet I know what happened. So yeah, I didn't want to make that mistake myself tonight.
Well, Chuck, outstanding performance tonight. Just stunk up the field. 81 laps led, started 3rd, finished 1st. You know the deal, brother. You're no stranger to OCR TV. Give us those shout outs, man.
Yeah, well, thanks to Corey for putting the league on, and Cold Hard Art for their sponsorship. Great group of guys and great league, having a lot of fun. Thanks to you guys for putting on the broadcast, and I'll definitely be watching it probably in the morning. It's getting a little late for me, and I got some more moving to do tomorrow. I'm not actually in the place yet, so yeah, just thanks to everybody that makes it happen.
All right, Chuck. Well, we appreciate you, man, as always, and we'll see you next time on the track.
All right, thanks a lot, guys.
I'm impressed, guys. Great race to the league.
2 in a row.
Yeah, 2 in a row. I'll give my shout outs to 3 Wide. Awesome race. It was a joy to watch. A lot of battles throughout the field. 28 cars tonight took the green flag. Very exciting. Our producers now running the results down on the screen so you can see where your favorite driver finished. But awesome race, man. I was impressed.
Well, Trey, we might want to get strapped in for next week because it is Daytona and it's before the repave, and not to mention it's a no bull featured by Bennett or Whack Music. So that's going to be the final no bull race, and nobody has taken the money home yet. So we're going to see if somebody can do that next week on the high banks and bumpy, not to knock your feelings out.
Yeah, if you've never ventured onto or seen a stream at the old Daytona surface, which is still featured here on iRacing, do yourself a favor and pull up a chair next Monday night and watch that one, because it's going to be crazy with some of those in-car views. But before you do that, make sure to tune in Sunday night, because believe it or not, guys, they actually have a B-car series in this league, which hasn't been seen in about 32 days. But it'll be back in action this Sunday at, we're at Daytona, so why not be at Talladega for the B-car?
And we should mention that the next Daytona Cup race is a charity race for Levi Zielinski and his family, who's got a family member battling cancer. So I know the league is, excuse me, throwing some money together for the number of green flag laps. So it's going to put a lot of pressure on those drivers to try to get that to go green from flag to flag. So it's a good cause next week. Should be some good racing, like you said, Thomas, on the old surface.
Yeah, I expect more of what we've seen here the past couple weeks. You know, two plate tracks coming up. No reason they can't be ran pretty cleanly. I'm sure there might be a big one or two here or there, just like in the professionals, but I'm expecting a wild and crazy finish in both of those. So I think that just about wraps it up, unless you boys have any other statements.
Nope.
Matt's picking up snow again, so be sure to tune in next Sunday night for the Nathan Young Designs B-Car series from Talladega. Until then, Trey, tell them what to do.
See ya!